Hello and welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. I'm Kim and I have been away for a week. I literally just got home and I'm walking into the garden for the first time. I had someone watching it for me, but let's find out together how we're doing. I believe we need to do some harvesting. Those of you who follow me know I travel quite a bit for work. And so I'm just coming back from a week away for work. And I think it rained a little bit while I was gone. It looks like the garden has exploded. And some of my first large tomatoes have started turning red. So I'm going to pick as we go. I'm going to clean up a little bit as we go, but I figured I'll bring you with me. So let's just go do this. This looks like a complete jungle. My broccoli's flowering. Everything's kind of just all over the place. Looks like some insects have gotten to a few things as well. But let's see what we need to do. Let's start with this tower here. So 6 days ago, I planted zipper cream peas in here. And it looks like very, very poor germination in here. So we will have to add some more of those cream peas to see if we can improve the germination there. I'm over here to the peppers. Ooh, that's got a little bit of red on it. See my peppers. I have one red Jimmy. Hey, they are starting to turn some of the peppers. Woo! Some of these peppers are huge. Huge, huge. I can't wait. I can't wait. That's going to be a Joe Parker there. It's on its way to turning red. What else we got going on? Some of my shishitos are turning red. That's not really what I wanted. We'll pick those tomorrow. I'm just looking for things that desperate need of being picked today. Moving over to my tomato tower. Some of these just don't look very healthy, but some of these are gorgeous. Look at that. This is a bush steak tomato that has ripened on the vine for me. Oh, what is this one? What is this? This is a new big dwarf. So the dwarf tomatoes are supposed to be on a smaller plant, but you're supposed to have nice sized tomatoes, but it's decent inside. It's not perfect, but it'll do. Now this one's misshapen and split open, so this one must have been extremely hot, and then it was watered, and it split. And I wasn't here. I didn't do the watering. I had someone doing it for me, so they had to come over in their spare time. But that's the only two that are on here that are in desperate need of picking. Let's see what else we got. This right here are some suckers that this is either a volunteer or a sucker. I honestly don't remember. That I moved from the garden into this space that was in desperate need of staking. The stake was there, but I wasn't holding it up yet. So we will do that with both of these. I don't advise anyone to use the clips that I have. They are not in good shape, and they're not the best clips out there. Now, I have some better clips, but we will use these first. At least I thought I picked some clips up. Give them a little support. These will be some type of cherry or grape tomato. I don't know what though, because they were either And I really believe this one was a volunteer. And this one was a sucker, one or the other. I don't know which is which, but either way, they both are doing really well. And this tomato here has been eaten by a squirrel. The war is on. The squirrels and I are going to war. That was a Cherokee purple, and it was the first one on this plant. And actually, oh, there's a few more blooms up there at the top. There's a few more blooms. Hopefully, we'll get something off of this plant. Man, these onions are looking really, really well. It looks like some of the necks of the onion are starting to lay over, so we'll probably be picking those in about a week. When I left this plant right here, which is a melon, I believe it's honeydew. Not honeydew. This is a Hell's Best, I believe, or a honey rock cantaloupe is what this is. It was not up to here. I mean, it was maybe a foot tall, foot and a half tall. I'm trying to trellis it, so I'm trying to train it to go up a trellis. Blooms are everywhere. Let's see. Oop, there's a cantaloupe. I mean, the remnants of where a cantaloupe can be. I don't know if it's fertilized yet, but it's looking good. Look at the cantaloupes. And the little bees are over here doing their jobs. I'm not really trying to harvest everything. I'm just trying to see what's going on. My black beauties are looking really good. That's one of the hardest tomatoes I've had to grow, that I've tried to grow, and it just doesn't do very well. I'm going to go ahead and pick this Cherokee purple. It's blushing. I don't want to lose it to the squirrels. Some really nice size ones on here. Okay, I have some big rainbow. Now, they're not big, but they're pretty. There's my big rainbow. It's an orange. I really thought the big orange or the big rainbow was going to have some like red, like stripes and kind of stuff in it, but this is my big rainbow. They're nice and ripe. Cherokee purple. Okay, let's see what else we got. Very happy plants. Nice and green and full. They look really nice. Lots and lots of tomatoes. I have one here blushing. I'm going to leave that on another day. My zinnias falling all over the place. But they're happy as well. I want to let them just hang out. There's one. This is a bodacious. And bodacious is supposed to be really big. It's still good eating. Another piece of a tomato. All right. This is a pink ox heart that I'm working on here. They're blushing. And my big mamas. Big mama is a paste tomato, is blushing as well. Let me get those up and out. At least the ones that are really blushing. Here we go. Some of these look good, some of them don't. Wow, that's going to be a nice one. Splitting just a little bit. That's an Italian heirloom. All right, here's some more big mamas. I have some, I think this is This is a giant crimson. It's not giant, but it is a crimson, I guess. And then we get over here to my, oh, this is a black strawberry. And my grandpa's Minnesota. What is this? Champagne bubbles. Champagne bubbles here. Some sweet 100. I'm just picking a little bit of everything. Some black cherries. Oops. And it looks like a ton of Sun Gold back here. Sun Gold is an orange tomato. And I don't like to leave them on the vine because they will split on you in a minute. They're known for splitting. So we will have to pick anything that's ripe of these. This is the time of the year I love, and I really hate to travel while I'm in harvest season. Okay. Those are all Sun Gold. I will be picking green beans tomorrow morning, first thing. There are tons and tons of beans, but that's tomorrow, not today. Look what I got so far. A melon. Look at that. That is some type of cantaloupe. I don't know which one. I threw a whole bunch of seeds in the front yard, and when I came back, I didn't expect them to germinate, and I had like 8 plants in one container. And so I separated them out into individual containers like the ones I showed you earlier. Those came from that one pot as well as these. And there is definitely a cantaloupe on there. So we're moving in the right direction. So now we're going to focus on some of the cucumbers that we had over here while I was gone. Let's see if there's any here. Now, the one thing about cucumbers, you do not want them to ripen on the vine. So you have to be very careful of your cucumbers ripening. So when they get that yellow hue like this right here, that means they've been on the vine too long. And usually it means that they're going to be bitter. So let's see if we have any that are way too big. Ooh. Now this one looks way too big, but it's not yellowing. So it may be okay. I usually pick my cucumbers a lot smaller than this, but this one, it looks okay. There's no yellowing. Hopefully it will taste just fine. Now this one's smaller, but it has yellowing on it, so it may be bitter. And there's a few more over here. I won't show you each one of them. I'll just get them picked and I'll show you the final product, the final harvest. So I've been driving for 7 hours to get home. Didn't plan on spending a lot of time out here, but I just want to do cleanup real quick to make sure I'm not losing a harvest anywhere. A few more cucumbers over here. Like, look at these onions. Now, they haven't fallen over, so they're still putting size to the onions themselves. They are looking great. But let me show you this other onion and how it's doing. These things are huge. They're like as big as my hand all the way around. And this particular onion is not ready either. They're still putting size on. So we're going to have a pretty nice onion harvest this year. So there are a few cucumbers over here as well. Now, I haven't harvested these yet. These are Masuyo longs, and these are quite misshapen, but I think these are ready because the plant is ready to move to the next stage here, and they're dying back. Now, I have a horrible issue with cucumber beetles, and I believe that's killed this plant here. I have more ready to go, so no big issues, no worries. I have more to replace these. So I'm always growing plenty of cucumbers. There are a few things on this GreenStalk that I need to harvest right away. And this is one of my round zucchinis, which is pretty cool. I like to pick these small. That's my preferred. Something has been in here and they've dug all of the dirt out and it's all over the ground. So something has crawled up in here and just had a ball digging the dirt away. That whole layer is missing quite a bit of dirt. We'll have to fix that tomorrow. And that's one of the other things that happens when you stay out of your garden for a very long period of time. You get monster-sized green beans, which we don't want. Now, all of the peppers in this tower, as well as the tomatoes, were from a seed share, so I'm not quite sure what it is. I just know they're heirloom and red. It's the only thing I know about the peppers and the tomatoes in this tower. And some very large green beans. Very, very large green beans. Which I was planning on picking tomorrow, not today. If they're already that big by tomorrow, they might not be any good. There are more cucumbers over here. Picked up one tomato on the way. And my neighbor picked a few things for me while I was gone, but she wasn't sure when things were right. So she only picked a few things here and there. This will probably be the last time I pick any cucumbers from over here. This cucumber is no good. It is completely yellow. I can't do anything with this, but I needed to get it off the vine. The vine was already pretty much done, but it's definitely done now. But we're going to pull these out tomorrow and replace them with new plants. That's okay. We have some cayenne peppers growing in here. They're looking good. Poblanos. There's a few poblanos growing in here as well. I said I wasn't going to pick any of these beans, but I got to thinking about just the size of them. I mean, like, these things are huge. I don't know if I leave them on one more day, if they're going to be that much farther gone. So we're going to just go ahead and pick these. These are dragon tongue. And I keep saying that I'm going to do a canning project, and I keep running out of time. So we will absolutely have to do a canning project this weekend, because I have nowhere else to put the beans. There's some kind of bug damage on these. Now, I haven't had hardly any bug damage at all in the garden this year. So it's interesting to see that something's eating at them. And for those who are seeing my chair for the first time, I get asked every video, so I guess I'll just start sharing in every video. This chair is more than 20 years old. It is a toddler toy from the Step 2 company. And it's really just something to teach them how to walk, and they push it, they ride on it until they learn how to walk. But my neighbor gave it to me. I used to foster. I had foster children, and this was something for them to play on that I just use in the garden now. And it's not available, not in this style anyway, from the Step 2 company. I've already looked. I've searched and searched and searched. I can't find it. But I know it was made by the Step 2 company. So I apologize, but I have no idea how to help anyone get one of these. Look at that bean. Huge, huge, huge. And we did get quite a bit of rain while I was gone. And I tell you, there's nothing better than rainwater for your garden. Typically, unless there's a lot of pollution in your area, then rainwater might not be might not be what you're looking for. So my goal wasn't really to harvest everything. I'll get the rest of those beans tomorrow. And it looks like I'll be getting eggplant tomorrow. At least I got the really, really big ones. All right, we are in the side garden, and all of my buttercup has completely died back. I mean, the stems, everything's gone. They're not hard yet. So I think I'm gonna just leave it here. Even though I know it's died back there, I'm gonna leave it here. Maybe it'll continue to harden up and ripen up. So the baby one here. But this one is absolutely, it's where it needs to be. The little curly Q is died back. It's supposed to be orange. It is orange. I don't know. I don't want to lose it because I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it just a little longer. Now this one is hard, but it's so tiny. I don't think it's supposed to be ready. This one is hard and it's tiny. We're going to pick one, just this one. This one here is my Australian butter, and it's my favorite winter squash. And I'm going to let it sit here another day or two. The curly Q is completely died back. I can still, so when your winter squash is ready, it's supposed to be hard enough that you can't poke the skin, like with your fingernail. And I can still poke the skin with my fingernail on this one and this one. So I'm going to let them go a little longer. So this is my white mashed potatoes, and it is a white squash. So white winter squash. See it there? Now, I cannot poke this one with my fingernail. The curly Q has died back. We'll pick one. We might not pick them all, but we'll pick one. The curly Q on that one has died back as well. I'm only going to pick one because I don't want to mess up. They can stay out here longer. They're healthy. They can stay as long as possible. Well, look at that. I'm going to show you something very interesting. Look right there. That is some type of squash or melon growing right there in the actual mulch of this area. And I'm going to let it grow. While I'm over here, I mean, look at this flower. And you know, I'm not a flower person, but isn't it beautiful? This is a perennial. It comes back every year. I'm going to be honest with you. I hate the smell of these, but they are so beautiful. And every year they're getting thicker and fuller and bigger. And so I have two. I have this one here, and then I have another one just to the side there. And they only bloom. I have only had them bloom once, and then they fall off, and then it's just greenery. But they look beautiful when they're at this point. They're peaking right now. This is a tomato plant that I have no idea why it's here. It looks like it's one of my dwarf plants because it's short, thick, and full, but I have no idea what it is, but it's healthy and it's happy. there are also watermelon growing in here. And the interesting thing is, I thought I removed all of the watermelon plants that were trying to grow in this pot. And I tell you what, they just said that you will not remove me from this pot because they're growing again. And there's a teeny little melon on it now. I don't know. I tell you what, they just want to survive. There's tomatoes on this tomato plant. And then this is the sole surviving, and I only left one in this pot. Actually, there's 2 left in this pot of the melon where I threw 8 or so in here. There's still 2 in here, and they have blooms all over them. They're happy and they're surviving. All right, that's it. I've been driving for 7 hours trying to get back home from work, and this is probably 20 pounds or more of vegetables in this container here. I mean, there are tomatoes, there are cucumbers, there are beans, there's winter squash, there's summer squash, and there's some things that's going to be good for eating, and there's some things that are just too far gone. But I needed to get them out the garden. Like this, can't eat this, but I can cut it open and save the seeds from it. And then next year, I can use the seeds from this to plant next year's crop. So once they turn yellow and they fully ripen on the vine for your cucumbers, you can cut them open, save the seeds. But I'm tired, and I still haven't got to all of those green stalks over there. Sounds like another day's problem for now. If you enjoyed the short video, please like the video, subscribe to the video, turn on notifications, share the video, all of those great things. And I will see you back here again very, very soon with more harvest and garden adventures. Bye.